V is the 22nd letter in the ISO Basic Latin alphabet. History. The letter V comes from the Semitic letter W, as do the modern letters F, U, W, and YCF for details. In Greek, the letter upsilon in was adapted from what to represent, at first, the vowel, U, as in moon. This was later fronted to, Y, the front-rounded vowel spelled a 1/4 in German. In Latin, a stemless variant shape of the upsilon was borrowed in early times as ∑, either directly from the Western Greek alphabet or from the Etruscan alphabet as an intermediary euro to represent the same sound, as well as the consonantal. Thus, numera euro originally spelled nma euro was pronounced and via was pronounced, ea. From the 1st century AD on, depending on Vulgar Latin dialect, consonantal developed into, then later to. In Roman numerals, the letter V is used to represent the number 5. It was used because it resembled the convention of counting by notches carved in wood, with every fifth notch double-cut to form a V. During the late Middle Ages, two forms of V developed, which were both used for its ancestor and modern. The pointed form V was written at the beginning of a word, while a rounded form U was used in the middle or end, regardless of sound. So whereas valor and excuse appeared as in modern printing, have and upon were printed as horn VPON. The first distinction between the letters U and V is recorded in a Gothic script from 1386, where V preceded U. By the mid-16th century, the V form was used to represent the consonant and U the vowel sound, giving us the modern letter U. Capital U was not accepted as a distinct letter until many years later. Letter, in the International Phonetic Alphabet, represents the voiced labiodental fricative. See Help, IPA. Like J, K, Q, X, and Z, V is not used very frequently in English. It is the 6th least common letter in the English language, with a frequency of about 1.03% in words. It appears frequently in the Romance languages, where it is the first letter of the second-person plural pronoun in the stem of the imperfect form of most verbs. This letter, like Q and X, is not used in the Polish alphabet. Is spelled with a letter y instead, following the convention of German. In English, V is unusual in that it has not traditionally been doubled to indicate a short vowel, the way for example P is doubled to indicate the difference between super and supper. However, that is changing with newly coined words, such as divvy up and skivvies. V is the only letter that cannot be used to form an English two-letter word in the Australian version of the game of Scrabble. C also cannot be used in the American version. Other names, Catalan, ve, pronounced, eve. In dialects that lack contrast between and, the letter is called ve baixa, ebe barge florini unregistered trademark lobv. Czech, var copyright, ve, French, var copyright, ve, German, v, fesh, Italian, vu, evu or vi, evi, Portuguese, va, eve, Spanish, uv, squared e, is recommended, but ve, eb is traditional. If V is pronounced in the second way, it would have the same pronunciation as the letter B in Spanish. Thus further terms are needed to distinguish ve from B. In some countries it is called ve corta, ve barger, ve piqui plus or minus a, ve chico ve labiodental. In Japanese, V is often called bui. This name is an approximation of the English name which substitutes the voiced bilabial plosive for the voiced labiodental fricative and differentiates it from ba, the Japanese name of the letter B. The sound can be written with the relatively recently developed katakana character oya florin va, vi, vu, ve, vo, though in practice the pronunciation is usually not the strictly labiodental fricative found in English. Moreover, some words are more often spelled with a B equivalent character instead of vu due to the long-time use of the word without it than as vi and due partly to inertia, and to some extent due to the more native Japanese sound. Pronunciation: in most languages which use a Latin alphabet, a va has a, v, like sound. In most dialects of Spanish, it is pronounced the same as a ba, that is, b, or I squared I. In Corsican, it is pronounced b, v, I squared or w, depending on the position in the word and the sentence. In German and Dutch it can be either v or f. In Native American languages of North America, a euro represents a nasalized central vowel. In Chinese pinyin, a euro is not used, as there is no sound, v, in standard Mandarin. But the letter euro is used by most input methods to enter letter a euro, which most keyboards lack. Romanized Chinese is a popular method to enter Chinese text phonetically. In Irish, the letter euro is mostly used in loanwords, such as vidla from English violin. However, the sound v appears naturally in Irish when is knitted or softened, represented in the orthography by a b, so that ba is pronounced ve squared ea, and bien is pronounced e. Unregistered trademark ni e ve squared ani, etc. In the 19th century, a euro was sometimes used to transcribe a palatal click, c, a function since partly taken over by a radian per square second euro. Related letters and other similar characters, th currency Phoenician letter was, the ancestral glyph, a Greek letter upsilon, from which v is descended, th pound n florin a Cyrillic letter u, descended from upsilon, y a Latin letter y, which, like v, is also descended from upsilon, u a Latin letter u, descended from v, w y Latin letter w, also descended from v, nn micro a Cyrillic letter as hetza, a letter of the early Cyrillic alphabet, ii 1/2 a Greek letter nu, which appears like AV in lowercase, 003/4. AO from Armenian alphabet, computing codes, 1 also for encodings based on ASCII, including the DOS, Windows, ISO 8859 and Macintosh families of encodings. Other representations. See also, dominant, in music theory, v, references. External links, media related to v at Wikimedia Commons, the dictionary definition of v at Wiktionary, the dictionary definition of v at Wiktionary.